Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Your first question is about the fact that the OTP has decided to request judicial authorization to investigate in Afghanistan. Do you think that this will change how African leaders perceive the ICC?
Thank you for having me. And I think the answer to that question is no. I think it would change the way the African population as a whole view the ICC. But as far as the leaders are concerned, they've always known, that the ICC is not targeting them. They've referred the cases to the ICC themselves. They've been under no illusion as to how the ICC got its jurisdiction. But I think it will help basically to allay the fears and the concerns of the general populace to know that this really is an open court and it's an open system.
To achieve complementarity, domestic justice systems in Africa need to pull their weight. What, in your perspective, do you think we need to do to ensure the domestic prosecution and investigation of international crimes?
I think positive complementarity is something that we need to talk a lot more about. We need to understand that, when it comes to these investigations and prosecutions, whether it's on the African continent or outside the continent, it's proven difficult over time. There are countries that eventually, Western countries that had international crimes divisions previously and shut them down because they were not performing. And so Africa, like the rest of the world, also needs to learn from these experiences and also needs to develop its own expertise in trying to deal with these crimes. But I think, first things first is, build capacity, try to investigate and prosecute some of these cases, and then slowly, gather enough experience to be able to routinely deal with those crimes.
Nigeria is also the subject of an ICC preliminary examination. What can you tell us about Nigeria's efforts to investigate and prosecute international crimes?
Okay, those efforts are slow, I must admit, but they exist. So there are currently three bodies I would refer to. There's the complex case group within the Directorate of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, and they are the ones that are responsible for carrying out, the prosecutions as a whole. There's the Joint Investigation Committee, which is the body of investigators. Basically, it's a mix of so many investigators from different agencies. And then currently, there's a special investigation panel to basically investigate. It's a fact-finding panel to look into military abuses in the Northeast and across the country in different conflict or situations. So I think on the whole, looking at these different mechanisms, pulling them together, and then slowly putting pressure to ensure that they continue doing their work. Nigeria is addressing them. It needs to be more high level, it needs to be more coordinated, but those efforts are currently ongoing. And of course, there's the support that we're getting from Wayamo, which is great, and we appreciate that, and we hope more of it will, continue.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.